Thank you for sticking around after that short half. The second block of the action-packed night continues on as one of our busiest frenzies of the year continues to unfold. So, Vin, how are we feeling after round one?
So far, so good. A lot of really good games. It's super energetic. Just being at some of the games I was at today, I mean, the energy is high, and you can clearly see it in some of the games we've already looked at already.
Yeah, and we got a couple more to look at. So why don't you say we get started?
Absolutely. Jump into it, Bree.
All right, I'd love to. First off, we'll take a look at if Jeff was able to break their two-game skid as they faced off against Marion. And when I got there halfway through the second quarter, the score was 14-0, but it didn't stay that way for long thanks to Lance Crowder. Dude straight up turned on the Jets to scoot his way into the end zone on a 55-yard touchdown run. And I just want to say that score was made possible thanks to Angelo Pasmanis' block at the start. And with a huge boost in momentum, Jeff decides to go for two. They pitch it to Josh Millian, who has a bit of trouble getting around his own player, but the Broncos end up converting and give up a touchdown on the next drive. So now they have to score again before the half ends. And with a big-time run here coming from Terrell Irons, they would get in a very good position to do so with less than 2 minutes remaining in the half. But can Jeff do it? Yes, they can. Freshman quarterback Tristan Barrett with the lofty throw, and DJ Young is there with the one-handed catch. I think that was the first one I've seen this season. Broncos would be on fire in the second half as well, break their losing streak, and take the game 43-6.
And it's the Red Devils taking on Twin Lakes in West Lafayette tonight. The Red Devils passing game chipped away at the Indians secondary all night long. Check this out, Carson Kitchell rolling out and airing out to the sideline for Benny Speaker, who makes a tough grab to set up this. Dawson Martin shooting out like a bullet past the goal line to get the Rebels on the board for 6. West Lafayette's momentum didn't stop Keaton Miller and the Indians from driving down the field. Their efforts weren't enough as West Lafayette takes this one at home 26-7.
Two great games. Let's take a look at this at Falcon Field, where Frontier takes on West Central Trojans on what was to be a very chilly night. Now, after deferring the coin toss, it would be the Trojans with the ball to begin the game, and they marched down the field in a hurry, capped off with a 41-yard by senior Austin Bolin, who wasn't even touched on his way to the end zone. Falcons trying to even up the score on their first possession. That's going to take place right now with the aerial assault, but quarterback Dylan Brown is picked off by Josiah Rodriguez, giving the ball right back to the Trojans in excellent field position. Now, a couple plays later, it would be Spencer Lehman taking advantage of the excellent blocks and exploding through the hole for another score for the Trojans. Now, the scoring would continue, and Trojans would conquer another team, winning 52-12. And as I said before, guys, we have a lot of games tonight, and I'm kind of still trying to catch my breath after reading so many highlights. But, you know, I think it's time to toss it to somebody else for once.
Things over to Sports 18's Gabe Obermiller has how his games were tonight. Gabe, hopefully your toes are a bit better after last week.
Much better this week, Vin. Good toss, by the way. Kid's got a Bobby Metzger arm on him. Bree, Vinny, another week of the Friday Night Frenzy. 2 games from me tonight, and close isn't exactly the way to describe them. We'll head over to 9th Street to kick things off. Bison of Benton Central guests at Central Catholic's house tonight. Knights coming out of the gates fired up on homecoming at Paul LaRocca Field. Cue highlights. After a Benton Central 3-and-out, Knights in the red zone. Bobby Metzger dumps it to Jackson Kane. Kane dodges a few tackles, dives for the pylon, and gets into the end zone for the Knights' first score. PAT good, Knights up 7-0. Another series, same story. After BC punts back to the Knights, Central Catholic are poised to score again. Bobby Metzger delivers right into the hands of Ray Clayton. Knights take a 14-0 lead after the PAT. We're still in the first quarter, folks. Another stop, CC with the ball, and Jackson Kane will find the end zone for the second time tonight. But things get a little crazy on this point after attempt. Snap fumbled, but no need to fear when Thomas Henry is your kicker. He scoops it up, finds the outside, lowers the shoulder, and takes it to the house for 2. Central Catholic up 22-0. Knights not even done in the first quarter. Metzger says one more for good measure. Alex Hardebeck on the other end of it. Knights just keep it rolling with a final score of 64-7 in Lafayette tonight. Central Catholic outscoring opponents 107-7 in the past 2 weeks alone. And to the north we go. North Newton taking on North White right into it. First quarter, North White's Eli Quaisbarth fakes the handoff, finds the outside, and has a leisurely evening. Stroll to the goal line. Vikings build their lead to 26-0. To the kickoff return we go. North Newton's Jared Kutch. One word, one syllable. Tank. Big return for the Spartans. Can they capitalize? Not if Ben Sherrick has anything to say about it. The Vikings catch on the back of his helmet and come up with a big pick. Vikings eventually find the end zone and go up 32-0. And how about one more for North White? Still in the first half, they blocked a punt, and Luis Hernandez once in on the fun. They'll give them a 38-0 lead, 66-0, the final in the Battle of the Norths tonight. That'll cap off my top plays and highlights. Bree and Vinny, as always, it's been a pleasure.
All right, Gabe, thank you so much. You did a great job. And between the Battle of the Norths tonight, I said before as a joke, whoever won that game got to keep the name North. So North White gets to continue to call North White.
Yeah, and I mean, Bree, I got to watch them earlier in the season, and man, they are legit. They're good. 8-0. It speaks to how they've been doing this season. They're more than deserving of that North name.
Oh, yes, they are more than deserving of that North name, and they are our second team that is undefeated. Vinny, who do we have after the break that's also undefeated?